on the day, there's going to be so many different things that come at you because it's a new environment, the nerves, that is totally normal. Also, you have to get used to the acoustic. So within rehearsals, we as a team, you could make things happen that are surprises that the chorus don't know. So things like, silly ones like maybe someone pretends to fall down, or you turn the lights off suddenly, or you go up and you clap in people's faces like to put them off. So it sounds kind of strange, but that we have a saying in our head, something, nothing has happened. You put that to something is about to happen. So you keep thinking forward and sticking to the plan. And then for getting used to acoustics that are tough, like getting them to sing like this. So what it's like to sound on your own, sing outside, do your set there. And then also have the chorus make 3 mistakes on purpose, like in rehearsal. And what's surprising is they'll realise it doesn't actually matter if I make a few mistakes, so it can ease that. Because it is hard to stay mentally in it, and that's something that you could try for that. And really enjoyed the plan for the I Caught a Touch of Your Love. Who did you put that together?
We worked with Mira.
We got some good.
It really was a wonderful plan. So well done with that. There was energetic right across the chorus, which is cool. Beautiful warm sound as well. And your last chord was like so good. The last chord of that song. So you had amazing moments, like where it was well into the 70s. Wow. The sound that was coming through. And then there'd be times where that would say there were some intonation spots, and that it's quite interesting to judge that when you have that happen. But then other moments are so there's just so much potential there. So well done with that. So with say tightening up choreography, like getting it really clean could be a next step for the performance. So looking for aftershock, which is if you have a movement like this, or that people might a little, or this. If your hands are like that, you see that little bit there? So having it really clean, that there isn't that aftershock. And what's great about that is if you're really synchronized, it really cleans up the singing and keeps it synchronized as well, which is a good payoff there. I do have that was like energetic right across the chorus and staying occupied. So that's everyone staying in the plan, but it's not easy to do because you have so many thoughts going through your head. Do you talk about who you're delivering who's the object, or who are you talking to, and is it to the person? Are you reflecting to yourself, or is it expressed out to the world? Do you talk about that? Cool.
For this particular song, Caught a Touch, the directive was, you see someone you're really into, and just think of that person and try to be it. So we had that in mind. Good.
Cool. And did you talk about tactics or strategies to get that person to?
Like eye movements, for example. These tiny small body movements like trying to attract someone and
so we used the method that Mira was the one saying no, I'm not coming, basically. So she was answering, you have to do more. So we used that technique.
So I guess it's to work to make that even clearer, the strategy, and that's across everyone, which isn't easy with the chorus, is it? One thing with members, if you do have some members that find it a little more difficult to express themselves, there's a thing, we say rubber band it, rubber band. So just go a little bit crazy. Like, just let them be silly for a while, so that when they come back, it's a little higher than it was before.
Yeah.
Do you do performances, splitting the chorus in half? So you might go 1 2 1 2 1 2, have half the chorus come out, and that half performs this way, and that's also a good way of people seeing, oh, that's a good example. You know, they might see that, but they also might see, and I wouldn't point it out, but they might say, oh, that's what it's like if you don't express as much. So if you were wanting to encourage people to put more into it, celebrating the people that are, not pointing out those who aren't, but going, this person's, and that is another good way of practicing in a for a scary, like a different acoustic, because if you take people off the risers, that's often what it feels like, that you're singing by yourself. So doing half the chorus, and then as it gets closer, you might only do a third.
Short of it.
Just to prepare that, and that helps confidence and independence, because if they know they can do it in a small group, it's easy in a big one. So they're just a couple of ideas to help with that. With the You Were Always on My mind, so I think the tuning in this one, did you notice a difference, was there a difference within the scoring?
Always on My Mind scored lower.
So that was where the tuning would have, the intonation
we had tuning issues,
and that can happen sometimes. It's just that is so some things for that would be duetting in chorus rehearsal. Do you do that, duetting? So you might say leads and baritones, can you mime and do your performance plan, but basses you sing, and tenors. So they get used to locking into different.
We do duetting.
Great.
I didn't catch the word.
Oh, sorry. Duetting. That sounds funny in the Kiwi one. Yeah. So I think those things help a lot. And here I've got great musical plan, like the plan that you have put together. It's got a good arc to it, so well done with that.
We worked with Stuart on that.
Oh, lovely. And again, put expressive again, and great commitment from everyone, which is good. They should, you should feel proud of them, they should feel proud of themselves. Cool. You could see how much they put into it. And then I've got the think ahead, which isn't you would have heard the think ahead before. So ways to practice that. How do you practice that in rehearsal? Do you have strategies for learn?
No, I don't think we have worked on. We have mentioned it. But we have not used any techniques for it.
So you could just have one person in the team come out, and even just saying the words, think ahead. So as they're getting to an end of a phrase, call out, think ahead. Or you could ask questions.
This would be a good job for performance team.
So it could be that if you're if you're singing to someone and they're reacting to you, like Mira, if you're imagining that someone could be the target and be going, I'm not listening to you anymore. They could call out things to help people react at the end of a phrase, rather than it starting the thought on the so the other one is, if you are doing the direction of who you're singing it to, we talk about singing to a person, singing to yourself, and singing to the world. That doing that as a chorus until you get used to it. So say what are the first words in?
Even though I made mistakes.
Even though I made mistakes. Is that to?
And sometimes feel unkind.
And who is it to? Who are you singing that to? Is that to the object? Are you seeing them? Or to myself?
We haven't clarified it.
Okay, so that's something, you would sit together and then work that out. And so then as a chorus, you can go, and as a director, you could do that, or someone on the performance team do that. The whole chorus can do it, and then you take away the hands over time. But encouraging this to happen before you start saying the words. So it's not, to say for Heart of, I just use another song. Do you know Heart of My Heart?
No, they don't.
Okay. So maybe You Are My Sunshine. So, if it was You Are My Sunshine, my only sunshine, you make me. See, that's on the word, but it would be You are my sunshine, my only sunshine, you make me. So you move earlier. Yeah. And then do you see how that links the phrases? It keeps them lifted.
I've started doing it just recently, and I've realized how much it really helps me to just also keep in tempo, keep my tone up, just everything I can have enough air because I know what's coming.
Yeah.
Fine.
Okay. Yeah. So that would be another tool that I think is useful just for that unity. Now, in the last 5 minutes, do you have questions or things that you think, anything you want to ask?
Since we're all still very new, and we had some people on the rises who were very, very new, who had only been seeing with us for, I don't know, 2 months maybe. How can you encourage the people that are a little bit scared?
Yeah. I think to get over feeling scared, you have to do things that scare you a little bit. So that I think the dividing the chorus in half, that is a little scary, having to sing to each other like that. So those kind of things. Also, maybe just taking opportunities to sing your set to as many people as you can. Like going, if you've got, we talk about going to, rest homes, or just trying to get it, singing, taking opportunities to do that. But definitely to build independence, smaller groups. So another one would be, that we've done is divide into groups of 8, like divide them into very small choruses, and then each group gets up and sings a bit of a song. It doesn't have to be the whole song, but for a rehearsal you could say, you go and rehearse that for an hour and then come back and present it to the chorus. And usually it's really fun because everyone celebrates the people that get up, and they've also done it in a smaller group, so then it's less scary. And so it is that encouragement for people too, that they're because I think you need to do things that scare you, but also having a supportive team, when people believe in you that you can do it, and then catch them. We say catch them being good. Like if someone on the rises who isn't usually expressive, but you suddenly see it, really celebrating goes, this is amazing, how much really make a fuss of them, so they start to build that confidence, because I think a lot of the time we're scared if we don't think we're good enough. Are we going to let people down? And so as a team, that can be our job, to help them feel like you're valued, you're really important to us, you're awesome.
How often do you have your performance team coming out and stand in front of the chorus to do things? Do you do that as a director, or do you let the performance team do it?
I do it as a director, and then there's also with the choreo, there's someone that comes out. That's a little bit hard to do both. And the other thing would be not isolating it. So sometimes you work performance, but you forget about the singing. So if they are doing a singing thing or a musical, make sure like you practice, but go and with performance. So now with performance. So it's not, you know how that can
not
happen.
Doing it at the same time, then you
so
get confused which one.
You practice your singing, but you're not practicing it in that with the performance. You need the two brains at once, and so often we isolate the two things, and so the singing gets affected when we have the performance, rather than what does it feel like to sing well but be performing too. The other one is saying forgive yourself as a performer, because we all do it. As soon as there's a mistake, we're like, in the moment we're like, oh, and you tell yourself off, but then you've missed the next part of the song. So encouraging them that mistakes are normal, there's no such thing as perfect, and just being okay with it. And also we make the mistakes in our head seem bigger than they really are. Anything else?
I'd be mostly interested in, like, you've given us quite a lot of tools, so I think probably we said all of this already, but as a strategy for next time, is like one thing that we should focus on mostly?
I think maybe the independent thing, but I'd say the tuning was probably in that second song had an effect. So, but I think you're probably doing all the right things to work on that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And I think practicing with those, isolating parts, that will help too. Doing smaller groups and tuning and listening. Another one is listen in to someone's voice, or so you try and connect with someone over on the other side of the chorus, and during practices. And then you just all shut your eyes and so you're practicing that listening skill. Might help with that.
Okay, cool.
Too, for people to understand where am I in the chord. Aaron Dale, who's an amazing coach, he worked with us and he got us sometimes singing at a 3 at a lower level, just for us to really listen in. He'd say sing at a 3, and just so we could listen and understand where we were. Before letting it. But I'd say taking that time to give them opportunity to listen.
Sections sing on their own during your rehearsal sometimes? Or is that?
I think they do go and have sectionals, I think with tuning you have to, also I guess that, checking the maintaining pitch. Most choruses slip, there's very few that don't slip. So making that something that you're striving for, where, hey, have we maintained that as a section, but also and working on that, and so checking, hey, we're going to try and as we go little big steps up and little steps down, just working that. So I think if you pay attention to that detail, that'll make a difference as well.
Always check it at the end when we're done singing a song.
If that's what you're working on, because sometimes it can be demoralizing as well if you're always doing it and it's under. So make it a point sometimes, but maybe you're checking in as a team, because we had someone in the chorus who they would always blow the pitch at the end, and it's like, and then people go, we went, and it's like that's not what we were practicing right then. So if it is what you're practicing, yes, but it doesn't have to be all the time. But and then maybe in your warm ups, making sure that that's something you're aiming for too. Really good intonation. But well done.
Thank you.
Brilliant.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Oh, lovely to